Yes, of course. And regarding to your question, Arthur, yes, Mikel Arriola, the Mexican Football Federation CEO, has announced that Mexico are going to play a new tricky tournament in conjunction with the MLS. We know that both countries, they're not serious leagues, and you know they're pretending to steal football from the fans, because let's not forget that Mexico and the United States, they both have been fantastic footballing nations throughout the story, supporting FIFA since the creation of football. Mexico have played at least the 50% of the World Cups that have taken place, and the United States have also supported football. You know, women's football in the United States is one of the greatest nations, big talents coming from there. So, but the problem is that those two historical nations, talking about football, they've been run by the owners. You know, there is not legislation where the country supports football. In Mexico, as far as I know, the government doesn't have any stake in football. You know, of course, they are now more in charge about taxes, about what they're doing, you know, but it's all about money. But let's not kid ourselves. In Mexico, the owners are also in charge of the Mexican Football Federation, and they also decide what players will play the next World Cup. They also decide, they also are in charge of the referees, team, staff. So it's just a disgrace, because if those owners really think that they can steal football from the fans, they're making a huge mistake. You know, what the MLS and the FMF are doing, it's failed in Europe, where the Manchester City, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Manchester United, I think Juventus, not so sure if Paris Saint-Germain, I think that they were a club that they were not involved into this, but yeah, they tried to create a private league, and that's what they make in Mexico and in the United States. Of course, in the United States, they failed with their MLS because they created it before the 1994 World Cup, and they've said that after 10 years, the United States, could win a World Cup, but of course not. It's a tricky league. It's not a league, you know. They're destroying football. But what I would like to say is that in the end, football, it's sport, you know. Children all around the world play this football. Women play football. There are millions of women playing football under the sun. It's a phenomenon. It's the most successful sport all around the world. Greater revenues than the Super Bowl or any other sports event, even the Olympic Games. So those owners, they think that they've got the opportunity to buy the stadium and the brand, but in the end, they do not. You can't own a football club, you know. You should bear in mind that the fans are the owners. The fans are the owners, and you are a football administration, because football is a tool for the benefit of the people. Football is a tool to make you rich, you know, because it's supported. It's a scaffolding. A lot of fans, you know, they pay for that. You can't own the owners, the fans. If you are the owner, you should realize that the fans are the ones that, if they like your team, if they like the team, they support the team. That's why you are making money from that. But you are not the owner of the fans. You know, you should football should be respected, and I think that there must be a new legislations in Mexico, as it's happening in England, where this Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur's owners and Manchester City, the Cronkies at Arsenal in London, they also tried to create a private league, just to make money, destroying the history of football. It's a disgrace, but I think the fans are well aware now of this, and they're gonna react to it. And against the FMF, we've seen the chant, the racist chant, that it's not a racist chant or an homophobic chant. It's FIFA punished the FMF Federation lots and lots of times, but the fans are not doing this because they're homophobic. They want to. It's a kind of like a protest from the fans to what Mikel Arriola and the owners, because let's bear in mind that in Mexico, the owners, they run the FMF, they run the Mexican national team. It's all about their money. Chicharito won't play the next World Cup, or Carlos Vela, because the owners are MLS owners. So Henry Martin or whatever player, if plays at Pachuca, at America, at Tijuana, at Atlas, where the bloody owners, Tijuana, bet houses. They also own bet houses in Mexico. They have 3 teams. Just imagine that in England you are the owner of Manchester City, and the owner of Liverpool, and the owner of Everton. It's a joke. Come on, they're destroying our football. And I don't give a shit of what Mikel Arriola are telling us about their new league. It's just businesses, and they're destroying our national sport. And that can't happen. And the government, now the government is getting more involved into this, because they're trying to see what about the taxes. Of course, if they're thieves, there's a lot of things to find there, to punish them. But the government has to get in charge of football, because it's a sport, it's a business. It could never be a business. People love their teams. It's not I'm buying a Coca-Cola. No, it's not about that, It's an historical issue. Your grandparents, there is a huge history. The World Cups, 1986, 1917, Pelé, Maradona, Mexico, a great footballing nation. They cannot be the owners of Mexican football. Chivas, they have a great history. Chivas, the greatest Mexican league team, local team. It's Guadalajara, right? They've got a huge history. They're a legendary club. They're based. They've always played Mexican-born players. A guy selling a nutritionist, businessman, you can't be the owner of a team if you are an idiot. You are destroying pyramids. You are destroying, the Eiffel Tower. And we can't allow them, because we can't allow them to be in charge of the FMF, because they're meant to be a regulatory organization, but they are allowing corruption. It's unacceptable, and the government has to take a stake on this and with the fans, we are not going to let this to happen, because we want our league back. We want our league back because Mexico, we are not what we are now. We were not what we are now. It's just unacceptable. And don't get me wrong. Isn't it? What? Now, we can't beat an MLS team. What the hell are we becoming? What the hell are we becoming? Those guys are becoming riches at Mexico level. We don't have players in Europe now. We used to have Rafael Marquez at Barcelona, at least. Also run by bloody stupids, by the same stupids. But now it's a huge business. There's a lot of money there, and there's a lot of crowds that we should get rid of them. And I'm sorry I'm probably overreacting about this, but that's what my thoughts are about how Mexican football has been running, because they've destroyed it again. If they destroyed it a decade ago, they're making it worse. And it'll be worse in conjunction with the MLS. You know, Mexico was able to beat Argentinian teams at the Libertadores Cup. That was the legacy of people that really wanted to make Mexican football, to take Mexican football a step further. Those guys just want to take their wallets a step further. And we as fans and the government and whoever who is involved or who follows quite closely football should be reluctant to these tricky leagues, that there's just a show, there's just people, you know, making money at the stands. That's not football. Come on, mate. Let's give the opportunity. Let's make it. We are not going to allow this to happen. I'm so sorry. And keep an eye to this. This is Toro Football News. Bye-bye.